You know that moment when someone asks, "Tell me about yourself," and your mind just goes blank? Well, if that's ever happened to you, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to break down step by step exactly how to answer this common question with confidence. Just imagine, you're at an interview for a job you really want, or maybe you're at a party and you meet someone new. In so many situations, this is one of the very first questions you'll hear, and honestly, knowing how to answer it well can make a huge difference. Does your heart start to beat a little faster when you hear that question? Do you start thinking, oh no, where do I even begin? It's okay, really, we have all been there. But the good news is, by the end of our time together today, you'll have a really clear and simple way to answer this question. All right, let's dive right in. We're going to build your introduction from the ground up, starting with 3 of the most important basics: your name, where you come from, and where you live now. First things first, your name. The easiest ways to say it are my name is or I am. So my name is Jason or I am Amy. And hey, if you have a nickname, feel free to share it. Saying something like, my name is Jason, but you can call me J Ace, is a super friendly way to start. Next, let's talk about where you're from. As you can see here, there are 2 really common ways to do this. You can say, I am from, and then your country, like I am from the United States, or you can say, I am, and then your nationality, like I am American. Both ways are perfect. Now, here's an important thing to remember. Where you're from and where you live now might be 2 totally different places. For example, maybe you're from Australia, but now you live in London. Sharing both of these details can make your introduction even more interesting. So how do you talk about where you live now? It's really simple. You can just say, I live in, and then say your city. For example, I live in Seattle. If you want to add a little more detail, you could say something like, I live in a big house, or I live in a small apartment. All right, now that we've got the basics covered, let's move on to what you do every day. This is a great way to give people a better idea of who you are and what you're passionate about. So there are a few different ways to talk about this. If you have a job, you can say, I am a, followed by your job title. For example, I am an English teacher. If you're a student, you can just say, I am a student, or get more specific and say, I study English at the University of London. Now, a quick word about age. This is a personal topic, so you should only share your age if you feel comfortable. There's no pressure at all. If you do want to share it, the sentence is very simple. I am 32 years old, or even just, I am 32. Okay, here comes the fun part. It's time to add a little bit of your personality to your introduction. Sharing a few details about your family, pets, or hobbies is a fantastic way to make a real connection with people. Let's start with family. You could say something simple, like, I have a big family, or I have a small family. If you have brothers or sisters, you can mention them too. For example, I have one sister. And if you want to add a little more, you could say, she is a nurse. And what about pets? People love talking about their pets. If you have a furry friend, this is such a great personal thing to add. You can share their name and a fun little fact. For example, I have a cat named Leo, and he is orange and very fat. It's a fun detail that makes you more memorable. So what exactly is a hobby? Well, it's just something you love to do for fun in your free time. It could be anything, really, like playing guitar, hiking, or reading books. Sharing a hobby is an amazing way to show people what you're passionate about. And don't forget, you can also talk about things you don't like. For example, maybe you love cooking, but you really can't stand traffic jams. Sharing your likes and dislikes is another great way to show your personality and find something in common with other people. All right, we have all the pieces of the puzzle now, so let's put them all together. In this next section, we're going to see what a complete, confident introduction looks like. See how that flows? It's clear, it's not too long, and it's personal. It starts with the basics, then moves to what Jason does, and ends with those personal details that help you feel like you know him. It's a perfect example of how to make a great first impression. And remember, you do not have to share your entire life story. The real key here is to keep it simple. Just pick 3 or 4 things you feel comfortable sharing. A great introduction is all about making a connection, not giving a long speech. So, what's your story? I really encourage you to take a few minutes right now to build your own introduction using these steps. Practice it a couple of times, and I promise, the next time someone asks, tell me about yourself, you'll be ready to shine.